So, when I'm not collecting modern stuff like, the multitude of Eagle Moss starships, I like to have a little meander into those little shops that you see around and about the place that just sort of sell random things. You know the ones I mean, don't you? They look a little bit dusty, a little bit old, but for someone of a certain age, such as myself, they often contain little snippets of my childhood. And I went to one recently locally, and the lady said to me something which I thought was rather delightful as I made the purchase. And she said, of course, that could always be the one that you originally had. And I like that logic. I mean, it was a good sales technique as well. Fair dues, good sales patter. But I thought, yeah, why not? Why couldn't the one that I originally owned have turned up here a good 100 odd miles away from where I originally had it when I was tiny, and is now going to find itself back in my possession? I rather like that as a concept. So what I thought I'd just do is show you some of my latest purchases, which I'd nearly forgotten about. Just out of interest, really, just to show you the sort of stuff that you can find if you have a good rummage around in these sorts of little stores. You'll probably see already in this image. That's one of the things I found. Now I've got shed loads of individual looking issues, but I haven't actually got any looking annuals. So I've just picked this up completely randomly. You'll notice immediately there's a good reason for me getting it there. Battlestar Galactica on the front cover there. And what Looking did was do a lot of comic strips based on the cartoons and the sort of the action shows of the day. And this one is from 1979, so this is a little bit early for me. But there immediately, you see, you've got Christopher Reeve as Superman. You've got Battlestar Galactica. Now, as soon as I saw this one, I remembered these paintings because they come from the inside of the Battlestar Galactica novel that I've got somewhere. So I immediately recognised them. There's Spider-Man. There's Dalek. 2001 Space Odyssey, Tom Baker, R2, C-3PO, Enterprise. Just goes to show just how old these really beloved characters are these days. And there's Buck Rogers. Loved Buck Rogers when I was little as well. Made a BBC sort of tea-timey kind of show that I loved. Adama, of course. Okay, John Travolta, interesting. Not really bothered about him so much. Benny Hill, good lord, we wouldn't get that in a kid's comic book these days. Foreign products. Joanna Lumley, the timeless Joanna Lumley, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. Okay, no idea who any of them are. God, old school tennis. It's just these little snapshots in time. It's funny, isn't it? Famous Five, brilliant. Famous Five, Secret Seven, Enid Blyton, anyone? Yeah, remember them? Space Now. This is the greatest. It's Space 1999. I've got my Lego ideas, and this is the sort of reason why I like Space 1999, because you had it on the TV, but you also had it in Looking back in the day as well. Now, to be honest, I can't remember if I ever actually watched it read it in Looking. I think I joined Looking a little bit later, maybe about 3 years after this. But again, it's just great because obviously they can do stuff in the comics versions of the stories that they couldn't have done it on the TV, even though they obviously had a really good special effects crew. So and it's great for reference as well. There's nice sort of reference shots of the eagle there if you wanted one. So yeah, it's cool, and it does take you right back, and it's even got an uncompleted crossword in it. It's the Incredible Hulk there on the right. Awesome. So that's that, and this one I imagine will be similar. So again, we've got Spider-Man there. We've got Parker from Thunderbirds. Danger Mouse, of course, which has had a reboot since as well. one thing you can't tell from this is the smell I'm getting off the sort of musty, classic musty smell I'm getting off this this annual. But anyway, it is what it is. I wonder when this one, how old this one is actually. This one feels older somehow. I don't actually know when Looking started out in life. Oh, no, actually, no, I'm wrong. Actually, this one's 1982, so this is bordering on the time when I was starting to get them. There's a Flintstones, there's Smurfs, Cannonball. Yeah, they have their own strip. And there's Fab One. Very nice. Bert and Ernie. Such and Sweep. Wow. Magic Roundabout. A Muppet Show. Adamant. Wow. Nothing like this sort of thing to make you feel your age. Christ. Toya. Good grief. TVs used to look like children. Look. See? They used to be really sort of deep. Smurfs. More Smurfs. More Smurfs. That's a lot of Smurf. Yep, lots and lots of Smurf. What else have we got? Lee Majors is the Fall Guy. Yes. Amongst other things, obviously, but also the $6 Million Man, of course. Danger Mouse. Inglorious Black and White. There you go. Great stuff. Oh, wow. Was that Portland Bill? Oh, no, Cockleshell Bay. Oh, yeah. I would never remember that in a month of Sundays. I can picture them. I remember them, but I couldn't tell you the name, I don't think. Unusually for me. Wow, okay. Pied Piper of Hamelin. Ah, I do remember that. That was pretty freaky. Sort of like, not live action, but sort of puppetry cartoon of the Pied Piper story. Look at that. That's Spider-Man old school, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. So you didn't know he was around live action that far back, did you? Yeah. His webs were rather rope-like, let's put it that way. Okay. Sebastian Coe. Right, there you go. Cool. Completely random. That's what I mean. You just get these completely random pickups from places like this. You see. Now this. I'm trying to think what this actually was. Let's find out. No expense spared with the wrapping, but you know they're trying to make a living. It's not like they're getting huge profit levels unless they get lucky with a find. So what was this, and why did I get it? Ah, yes. So, remember this? You may remember this. This is an Angel Interceptor from Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. Nice solid die cast all round. So what I love about these old toys is that they last forever because they are metal. They are utterly metal, and apart perhaps from the landing gear, which I think I'm missing. I think I'm missing a wheel there, possibly. Although actually, in fairness to it, maybe I'm not. That might just be a strut because it's obviously designed to sit like that. So yeah, I just that was one of these completely. I just felt like getting something because I was in the shop, really, to be honest. But like I can add that to my little die-cast Stingray I've got. It's another Jerry Anderson example. Now this one again was completely random, and it called to me from the shelf. Now then, what do you think to that? Remember that? Obviously, it's a space shuttle. Now, I shouldn't say obviously, because they don't fly them anymore, but, you know, back in the day, everyone knew what one of those was, okay? Now, this one is not any ordinary space shuttle, because this space shuttle had a freaking laser beam, because this is a Moonraker space shuttle from the James Bond films of the day. And at the climax of the film, James Bond has to fly one of these and shoot down a satellite full of, I think it was poison spores of some description that was designed to eradicate Earth's population to make room for the Uber race, basically. But you can see it's a, you know, it's a perfectly decent model of a space shuttle. Its front landing gear there's a bit wobbly, but it's got rather nice mechanism here to make the landing gear pop up, which still works. So you know, after all those years, it still works, and its shuttle bay, its cargo bay doors open as well, and it's still got the satellite. Now I remember that satellite. I used to fly that satellite around quite a lot when I was little. I remember that quite clearly. So it was quite nice to find one that's still got it in. So yeah, I was quite nice to pick that up. And again, you see, it's all all of this is metal. I mean, it's pretty lethal. You know, you catch your brother or your sister with the end of that tail, and they're gonna know about it. I mean, that bit in particular, that's quite nasty. It's rounded off, but it's still potentially quite nasty. So that was that. And again, wasn't planning to find it, just found it in one of the cabinets. Now this, interesting. I know what this one is. How much unwrapping ensues. If I do, at least it's got, you know, green tissue paper. Now this one is quite interesting, I think. I have to be careful now. After all this time, it's still got its missiles, and I've really lost one in the process there. Good. So this is quite interesting, because I was looking for this online, because I remembered having this one in particular, and I think there were a few variants of this around, but this is the one that I remember having. And at first I thought it was something from Joe Anderson's UFO. I thought it was a Shadow Mobile or something like that. But I don't think it is. Now if I'm right, yeah, see, that goes up, and then if you're really, really lucky, I'm really, really lucky, that, I'm not entirely sure how I fire that then. How do I shoot it? It probably does still work, I just can't remember how to make it fly. It's probably as well if I don't try too much, because I don't want to break it. But basically, it stores its extra missiles in the flaps here. But I couldn't believe it when I saw one that actually still had missiles. It's only got some. It hasn't got another spare one there, but in fairness, it maybe they only actually came with 2. But then what you do is you just press that down, and then it locks in, and then you just fold it up, and away it goes. So then it looks like a normal truck, and then it springs back. And there's actually a little latch at the back. There's a latch at the back here, if you can see that, which just allows you to open like that, to go like that, and out it springs. And that's a pretty convincing action. Now I'm just going to have a look here and see, and I think it's, if you roll it, I think originally when you rolled it, this little radar, so you can see this, is that? Yeah, it's not quite fully connected. You can just see it's just trying to rotate its radar dish as you push it. I think back in the day that probably would have worked, but obviously it's a little bit past its prime now. It's got these little I don't know if you can see this. They've got little sort of pickaxes and little there we go, pickaxe and a spade on the side of it, just as an imprint, which is a nice touch. I've got to love the attention to detail on these old die-cast models. I mean, they took things properly seriously. They really did. And there's an axe and something else on the side there as well. Maybe a monkey wrench or something. Now, what I'm interested in here is exactly who made this. And this is, yeah, it's a matchbox, and it is, yeah, this is I think they're called Battle Kings. Let me just excuse me a moment while I utilise my ever-present magnifying glass these days. Yeah, so Matchbox Battle Kings K333, well, sorry, K111, so K3 I guess, missile launcher, made in England, 1975, Lesney Products and Co Limited. Okay. So though it's Matchbox, it sounds like it was actually manufactured by somebody else who's mentioned there. So that's what I thought. Now, actually, I always thought that was a dinky or a corgi. That had been my guess when I saw them originally. When I sort of, when I found it again, and I think there probably were similar things out around about the time, but that's just a nice little just a random selection of the sort of things that you can find really easily just by a bit of footwork. I mean, you will find them on eBay, I'm sure, but the odds are, you can just go in and just pick them up, and it's good because it gets you out, it gets you a bit of fresh air at the same time, and you might catch something that just reminds you of your childhood and is unexpected, and that you weren't, and they're only a few quid each. They're just little sort of tokens of days gone by, and I just find it's quite enjoyable. The ones I'd really like to find are the little sort of corgi starfighters. I mean, see, I've got this fellow up here, and this was another example of one that I found in just such a store, and I think I had this size of one back in the day, but there is another one that is more the size of the angel fighter there. But those are the sorts of things that I was playing with when I was in single figures, and it was a terrific time because they are really, really durable toys. These are metal toys that have stood the test of time. And the fact that I can still show you these now, and they haven't gone to landfill as well, just means that people really cared for their toys back in those days because they're still around, which is terrific. So I just wanted to just show you those just as a matter of interest. So if they've stood any memories for you, then let me know in the comments. That'd be lovely. And have a look for these little stores. Sometimes they're in markets. Other times they're just sort of generally, on the high street, even if they're lucky and they've managed to keep going. But it's nice to be able to put some money into the genuinely local economy as well. I think in the current times post-pandemic, because you just feel like rather than just paying some nameless corporation, you're actually helping people who are running local stores and keeping jobs local as well. So I don't think it's any bad. And it's recycling, it's upcycling, isn't it? You're just keeping these things in circulation that little bit longer rather than turning into landfill. So good. Well, thank you for watching. If you watched this far, and keep an eye on the channel for more videos. I don't know if they will be as random as this, but of course I've got my Babylon 5 series is still going. And if you'd like to check out my Lego ideas, unfortunately Stingray just dropped off the site. Got 600 followers, 600 supporters, which was great. And I might resurrect it in a slightly different fashion with another one of the ideas that's about to run out of time. So I might sort of relaunch it at that point, no pun intended, honest, and go from there. And you can probably expect to see an Eagle Moss video from me in the very near future, because I've got a shed load to unpack, which I've been very restrained and haven't done yet, so I'll do those for you soon as well. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.